Command Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, ORRETT CONNOR.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Friday, the 14th day of December 2018. The year is almost finished. Calendar year is almost finished. Calendar year of 2018. And I want to remind our listening and viewing audience that today's show will be the last show of For the Record for the calendar year 2018. So if you have anything that you want to get off your chest and you want to do it on For the Record, today is the day to do it. And what better day to do it when we have no guests in the studio this morning? No one from the opposition that I am aware of will be here. I believe the leader of the opposition may still be off island, and I think everyone else is pretty busy with all of the activities going on and commitments to their constituents and everything. But I personally thought and hoped that someone would be on to at least publicly, and I know they will do it in other fora as well, but publicly wish their constituents as well as all of the residents and citizens of the Cayman Islands happy holidays, but I'm sure that they will find their own way of doing that as well. So it is unfortunate that we have no one in the studio this morning from the opposition, but it gives you, our listening and viewing audience, an opportunity to have more time to talk with me. I know lots of you, or not lots, but some of you believe that I do not necessarily apportion sufficient amount of time for you to talk. But I always refer to the saying, brevity is the soul of wit. Brevity can also be the soul of a talk show. And we know that we in the Caribbean, when we talk, we like to talk. We like to tell a story. So we have to lay it all out on the table. But unfortunately, the limited time that we have on a talk show does not allow for that. So that is why sometimes I have to curtail the discussion, many times simply because we have to take commercial breaks as well. And we have to pay for the facilities of Radio Cayman, despite the fact that, many of you, some refer to it as, government's radio station, and but we have to earn our keep here as well. So I want to thank you, our listening and viewing audience, for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working in the outdoors. For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, ORRETT CONNOR, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are always open. There is always someone there waiting to take your calls. This morning, it is the radio voice of DJ Lynn. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord. That is one word, fortherecord, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us on 925-3261, where we encourage you to leave us a text message or send us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show as well. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. So we will have open line all morning. Remember, we take commercial breaks practically every 15 minutes. So our first commercial break will be at 7:45. Then we will break at 8 o'clock for the news. When we come back from the news, whatever time that is, then we will take another commercial break at 8:30, one at 8:45, one at 9, one at 9:15, and then the show will end at 9:30. So that gives you an idea of when you're talking, if you can walk and chew gum at the same time, that is, if you can talk and look at your time clock, whatever it is, be it a watch, phone, or whatever, then you know that when we're likely to take a break. So if you're in the middle of a conversation at that time, you too, rather than me having to interrupt you, you too can make yourself aware of the time that the break will come, and as a result of that, either abbreviate or end your what you're saying at that point in time. This way I won't have to interrupt as well. So, again, an opportunity for you to express yourselves. If you have any questions, certainly send us those questions as well. I have lots of things to talk about as well. We see that constitutional talks in the UK have concluded after 2 days of meetings. The UK now has Cayman governments, or I should say the Cayman Islands, because that included the government as well as the opposition. They now have our proposals. We'll take them under consideration and will then, within a few weeks, respond as to whether or not they accept proposals they accept, what proposals they do not accept, and then we see where we move forward from there. We believe, and all indications based on what has been reported to us, that Section 125 is one of those, of our Constitution, is one of those areas where does not seem to be any give whatsoever. So it appears as if Section 125 in our Constitution may remain the same. I was hoping that there may be some sort of a caveat added to Section 125 that would point out that in certain conditions that the UK would legislate for us, or in such legislation, in going through such legislation that they would consult or even better yet, act on the advice of the government. But again, we wait and see what they will come back with in terms of any suggestions, or whether or not they will just outrightly reject any changes to Section 125 of our Constitution as well. You would have heard me talk about the Honorable P.J. Patterson, I think 6th Prime Minister of Jamaica, longest serving Prime Minister of Jamaica. A gentleman who, during the course of the formation of the Federation of the West Indies, and he was in the UK studying law at the time, and during his breaks returned home to work in the political trenches, was encouraged to continue to work as a community organizer, a party organizer, but wanted to complete his law degree and said that after that he would return home, but he completed his law degree and everything. Well, the launch of his book, My political journey took place on Wednesday, this past Wednesday. So on Wednesday morning, I spoke about the book. That same day, the launch took place. So it is hoped, I trust now, that the copies are in the bookstores and they will be made available. But this launch took place at the, I think it was the Pegasus. I'll tell you exactly what the location that it took place. But yes, it was at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in New Kingston that the launch took place. And it took place against the backdrop of some political turmoil that has taken place in Jamaica recently. Two incidents in particular. One, the opposition's rejection of the government's proposal or government's move to extend the state of emergency that was imposed in certain Jamaican parishes, the refusal to extend that. And then another fiasco in the Parliament, I think it would have been the Public Accounts Committee, in looking at the Petrojam scandal. And if you're not aware of what the Petrojam scandal is all about, has to do with the missing of some 600,000 barrels of oil over a period of time that cannot be accounted for in Petrojam's system. And of course, the minister, I think his name was Mr. Wheatley, he was removed as the minister responsible for that portfolio as a result of that. And they have now had an audit that was done. They're now requesting also, and the Prime Minister has promised that a forensic audit will also take place. But these are two issues that have created some turmoil within the Jamaica Parliament. We're going to take a commercial break now, but when I return, I will read some of the words that the Honorable P.J. Patterson, former Prime Minister of Jamaica and the gentleman who has now published his book, My Political Journey, made to the audience at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel on the launch of his book. And then I want to take that and I want to contrast that with us here in the Cayman Islands, and talk about Mr. Roy Borden and his book, and contrast the two in terms of the type of support that Jamaican people give to the launch of their political stalwarts and when they write books, and how we treat our Caymanians here. And if we want to talk about nationalism and being true Caymanian born, and all of those things, we need to talk about how we throw our support behind our persons in the Cayman Islands who have attained and achieved so much. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the historical vignette series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Avida Eluda Borden Forbes, 1894 to 1986. Eluda Borden was born in East End. During her childhood, when medical services were very limited, she was always interested in helping her mother to care for the sick. At the age of 22, she married Ebenetus Forbes of Breakers. with whom she eventually had 8 children. After starting her own family, Aluda volunteered to be a midwife, and she traveled to many districts on foot or on a donkey or horse to deliver babies. Sometimes she would leave home a week prior to the due date to help prepare for the birth, and she stayed up to 8 days after the birth cooking and caring for the new mother's family. When she was at home, Aluda made thatch rope, baskets, and brooms. Brooms were her specialty, and she received requests for them from the United States and Canada. She was the last known Caymanian to make castor oil from the oil nut that was grown locally. She knew many different herbs, which she gathered from the bush and made into medicine for her patients. In hundreds of deliveries, she never lost a child or its mother.
Radio Cayman's Historical Facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
I need a bank that is convenient for me.
What do you mean?
I need a bank that has easy-to-find locations and plenty ATMs when I need cash on the go.
Oh, well, that's easy. You need to bank with Cayman National. They have 7 customer service centers and 23 ATM locations. The newest one is at the East End Post Office, and I hear there's more to come.
Well, sounds like I need to bank with Cayman National Bank, the convenient bank, because they seem to be everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Cayman National is everywhere. Surely they are Cayman's convenient bank.
Cayman National Bank. We're here for you.
A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square, enjoy a Broadway show, or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com.
So you made Santa's list this year? What do you want for Christmas?
All I want for Christmas is a new car or truck or SUV. Anna too picky.
Yeah, you're not cheap either. Just a car. You know Van Motors still has your sale, your choice going on. You can save thousands on purchase price, extend warranty or service, upgrade to a sports package, or gift your savings to someone else.
You mean you gonna save when you buy that car for me? My gift to you is letting you use $1,000 you save for yourself.
Your sale, your choice at Vamped Motors. Save up to $6,000 on selected vehicles. You decide how you want to save, spend, or do both with up to $6,000. Your sale, your choice at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
Prospect and Red Bay residents, you are invited to the annual Potluck Christmas Party Saturday, December 15th from 7 p.m. until midnight on the Seafarers Association Lounge. Bring your favorite dish and beverage and enjoy friendly social with Regeneration Band and prizes. Transportation for the elderly will be provided. For more information, you can contact 922-5276 or email prospectcommunity345@gmail.com.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, formerly known as Professional Pharmacy, would like to thank the Cayman communities for their loyal support these past 18 years. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care. Thorough background checks and follow-up consultations is only the beginning. Your safety is our concern. Our staff are respected healthcare professionals whose job requires careful and precise calculations. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, where we prepare to provide exceptional care. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we care about your health.
My employees' health insurance. Are there any companies out there that I can rely on for great coverage, affordable payments, and who will work to make the switch as easy as possible? Or am I asking for too much?
You sound like you need Fidelity Health. At Fidelity, they offer great coverage through a highly rated and trusted carrier, payments I can afford, and with no on-island deductible on all the plans they offer. Best of all, they offered my company 50% back on the first month's premium.
This is too important. Today's the day I'm switching to Fidelity Health.
Make the easy switch to Fidelity today and get 50% cash back on your first month's premium until December 31st. Call 949-7822 to make your switch now.
Going back to the brag again.
Look, I can't afford to miss this one. The Sport Bay Committee presents the second annual Sport Bay Christmas Homecoming, December 15th through the 25th.
It's a place called Christmas Island.
Featuring 3 days of traditional Cayman Brac Christmas festivities, including live music by district musicians, home decorating contest, children's party, homecoming party, carol service, seniors gift distribution, singspiration, old-time kitchen dance, and fireworks to close off the year. For more information on dates and locations, call 925-3250. The Sport Bay Christmas Homecoming, December 15th through the 25th. It's time to come on home to the Brac again.
Going back to the Brac again.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record, with your host, ORRETT CONNOR.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio this morning, and you will hear more commercials on For the Record this morning as well, and that is simply because this time of the year we have a lot more people who want to advertise and everything else, so you're going to hear more commercials also. So before we reach the 8 o'clock news, I want to again reflect on Honorable P.J. Patterson, the launch of his autobiography, My Political Journey. And in speaking of that launch, this article in today's Jamaica Gleaner, and you may ask, why is he talking about Jamaica and focusing so much on politics in Jamaica and everything? Well, we have a lot to learn that we can learn from Jamaica in terms of how to do things, and in some instances how not to do things as well. But we also want to bear in mind that Jamaica was an integral part of our political history as well. Not only our political history, but in terms of our economic survival at times. Where did we go for medical attention? Everybody went to Jamaica. Even people who wanted to get married, many of them went to Jamaica. Caymanians went to Jamaica to be married, and of course their educational institutions over there. Many Caymanians went to Jamaica for schooling as well. So lots to learn, and so I'm focusing on this particular case now on Jamaica. Says the article says, off the back of a tumultuous week in the halls of Gordon House, where government and opposition members clashed over recent controversial events. And I spoke of those controversial events too in particular. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson has issued a warning to those at the helm of the country's political affairs. And this could very well be said, to our politicians here in the Cayman Islands. He's quoted as saying, "We don't want to fracture the movement by a nation for action by the adoption of a style which is confrontational, adversarial. We need to find ways in which we can unite to build the nation, even while we maintain and nurture the democratic system for which both political parties in Jamaica have contributed to making us flourish and grow." And like I said, those words could well be said to politicians, the government, and the opposition here in the Cayman Islands. And I want to laud again the government and the opposition for their united approach to the United Kingdom in relation to propose changes to our constitution as well. And as you have heard the leader of the opposition, Honorable Diaz-Miller, say on more than one occasion that he's willing to work with the government in those areas where they can work. And at the same time, he's prepared to criticize them and to oppose them when he feels that it is warranted as well. But you sometimes have politicians who are in the opposition and they're vigorously fighting to obtain the upper hand and to gain power even before the next general election, and as a result of that, do not achieve a whole lot and don't have a whole lot that they can go out to the public and say, this is what we were able to assist in when the election time comes around. So, again, kudos to them for that. Very quickly, in speaking about PJ's launch, and we saw all sorts of dignitaries there. They were all invited. I want to reflect back on the retirement ceremony that they had for Mr. Roy Bodden at the UCCI at the Sir Vassal Johnson Hall. Well attended, but personally, I believe it should have been even more well attended, if there is such a phrase, more well attended. It should have been. Many dignitaries there. Some of his political opponents were there as well, but we should have seen more and more Caymanians out there. We hear that Mr. Roy Bodden is going to be launching another book soon, hopefully sometime next year, and we hope that something similar to what was done with P.J. Patterson can be organized for him. I mean, here I am. I'm dying to get a copy of P.J.'s book because I want to read it. I have an interest in political history, and I want to read it. Mr. Roy Bodden brings a lot to the table in terms of perspective and Cayman's politics. I'm anxious to read his as well, and we all should be anxious to read it also. Sorry, we have to go for a break now. When we return, I want to talk a little bit about another book published in the Cayman Islands. Yeah, you have several of them. This one has to do with Mr. Ormond, the late Ormond Panton, the biography of Mr. Ormond Panton, A Special Son, written by David Martins as well. So, folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
All right, thank you, Mr. Art. The time is now 8 a.m., brought to you by Price Right.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
Access and information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The first Cayman Islands International Counterterrorism Workshop was held on Grand Cayman, facilitated by instructors from the National Counterterrorism Center with support from U.S. Treasury and the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
The principal aim of the workshop was to share expert knowledge and experiences involving counterterrorism, as well as to have a cohesive national counterterrorism strategy that protects against the threat of terrorism and other violent extremism from a multi-agency approach. Key personnel from a wide spectrum of agencies attended the workshop, including Customs and Immigration, the 911 Emergency Communications Center, Hazard Management Cayman Islands, to name a few. Instructors were joined by personnel from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and Foreign Commonwealth Office, United States Southern Command, and the Jamaica Defense Force. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
Construction begins for the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park's newest attraction. Radio Cayman's Shanda Gallego reports.
Construction is underway for the Rotary Education Center, which officials say sits on the site of the Botanic Park's newest attraction, the Children's Garden. According to officials, it's already up to the belting, and it will take about 12 weeks to build. General Manager John Loris tells Radio Cayman it is the first initial project making up just one piece of the entire Children's Garden project, which is set to be completed next year.
This garden encompasses both passive play and structured learning. Every school in the Cayman Islands visits the Botanic Park, but now we're going to have a dedicated, specifically designed area for children, and not just to look at plants, but also to sit down and have a class after, and hopefully retain that knowledge instead of getting back on the bus and losing it as they get back to their schools.
The Children's Garden, once completed, will see a grow zone, sensory garden, observation tower, lawn and tunnel area, maze, discovery pond, among its many features. Shanda Gallego, Radio Cayman News.
And in other news, head down to Miss Lassie's on South Sound Road this morning to be a part of Christmas of Yesteryear.
Christmas of Yesteryear is at Miss Lassie's house on South Sound Road, Mind's Eye. We've been doing it since, I think, about 2005, 2006, where we go out there every sort of the middle of December and we prepare the house as you would for the holiday season.
Hosted by the Cayman National Cultural Foundation, Managing Director Marcia Mutu says you can help spruce the place up by cleaning and beautifying the 139-year-old Waddle and Daub home.
We rake the yard, we lime the house, we back sand, with the Rosemary's broom. We paint the cisterns. We have a little bit of breakfast. Hopefully we'll have some porridge there on Friday morning. And I say this because not only does the CNCF staff get involved, but we also encourage our volunteers and the general public to stop by and be part of the activity.
It all happens today through 12 p.m. at Mind's Eye, Miss Lassie's house. And now with a check of international news, here's the BBC who will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Eileen McHugh. A truce is in effect in Yemen's main port, Hodeidah. It's hoped, following agreement reached between the internationally recognised government and the Houthi rebels, more humanitarian aid will get into Yemen. The ceasefire has been welcomed as a step towards peace. Reports from Syria say US-backed forces have driven most Islamic State militants from one of their last strongholds. Monitors say most of Hajin has been captured after a week of fighting. In a move likely to lead to tension with Serbia, Kosovo has approved plans to form an army. NATO called the move ill-timed and said it would have to re-evaluate its work with the current lightly armed security force. The EU has also opposed the move. 3 days after the lethal attack in Strasbourg, the Christmas market in the French city has reopened. The attacker was killed in a shootout with the police on Thursday. Large numbers of opposition supporters are said to have been arrested in Bangladesh as the country gears up for parliamentary elections later this month. The authorities say only people facing arrest warrants have been detained. President Trump's former lawyer says the US leader knew it was wrong to order payments to keep two women silent about their alleged affairs with him. Mr. Trump has denied directing the lawyer to break the law. That's the BBC News.
Access. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Matt Brown and Rita Estevanovich star in the Cayman Christmas Comedy Show. A gift from the CNCF to you. Yay! Christmas Comedy Show. I am excited.
Well, I don't want to see it.
Too bad. You're in it.
Me in a show?
It's the bestest, most festivus Christmas show ever. Coming to your district between December 11th to 16th. Visit Facebook.com/Cayman Culture for all the details. Yes. I am going. Definitely I am going.
'Tis the season to be jolly, and Kirk Freeport is spreading holiday cheer for the whole family. Join us on December 15th from 4 to 7 p.m. for the annual Christmas on Cardinal event. Festivities will include music, refreshments, face painting, cotton candy, cookie decorating, fireworks, and more. Bring the whole family and don't miss your chance to see Santa. Kirk Freeport's annual Christmas on Cardinal event, December 15th from 4 to 7 p.m. on Cardinal Avenue in Georgetown. Merry Christmas from everyone at Kirk Freeport.
At KFC, we believe you don't have to share a last name to be a family. Whether it's an office party, holiday fete, or family gathering, enjoy KFC's fresh, hand-breaded finger-licking good chicken. The KFC Festive Feast includes 10 pieces of original recipe or spicy chicken, creamy mashed potatoes, tasty coleslaw, and warm biscuits. KFC's holiday catering menu includes buckets of hot wings, sweet chili wings, or chicken tenders. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Roro Variety Store is having a huge blowout sale on Saturday, December 15. Where? Outside the store, of course. Lots of bargains will be on sale, including 1, 2, and 3 burner indoor-outdoor camping gas stoves, plus 4 burner ones with built-in ovens. Join the early birds on Saturday, December 15th from 6 a.m. and enjoy great savings, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Roro Variety Store, Tropical Plaza on Smith Road. Telephone 321-0130. Merry Christmas from the management and staff of Roro Variety Store.
In financial news, European and Asian indexes wobbled today after British Prime Minister Theresa May failed to get assurances for a Brexit divorce deal at an EU summit in Brussels. China reported weaker than expected economic data, stirring up worries about the state of the world's second largest economy. Keeping score in Europe, Germany's DAX declined 1.5 percentage points to 10,759, and France's CAC 40 fell 1.3% to 4,833. Britain's FTSE 100 index was down 1.1% at 6,801. Wall Street was set to open lower. Dow futures gave up 1.1% at 24,320. The broader S&P 500 futures were 1.1% lower at 2,620. Looking at Asia's day, Japan's Nikkei 225 index slid 2% to 21,374, and the Kospi in South Korea lost 1.3% to 2,069. Hong Kong's Hang Seng was down 1.6% at 26,094, and the Shanghai Composite Index fell 1.5 percentage points to 2,593. In energy, benchmark U.S. crude fell 33 cents to $52.25 a barrel in electronic trading on the New York Mercantile Exchange. The contract added $1.43 to $52.58 in New York on Thursday. Brent crude used to price international oils dropped 55 cents to $60.90 in London. And in currencies, the dollar weakened to 113.52 yen from 113.60 in late trading on Thursday. The euro eased to 1.1294 from 1.1363.
Stay connected and share your favorite holiday moments with Flow. Pick up the Alcatel A1 from $70 or the Samsung J2 Pro, packed with sweet features from $130. Every week you can win cash and prizes in our Cash Cube when you top up. Also check out our weekly top-up specials. Visit Flow's Facebook and Instagram pages to follow the deals. Plus, top up $25 or more for plenty chances to win great Flow holiday prizes. So make it Flow for everything mobile this Christmas. Visit discoverflow.ky for more. Terms and conditions apply.
Healthcare Pharmacy in Governor Square and Grand Harbor is now fully stocked with the best from Hallmark. This means Christmas cards, gift wrap, gifts, photo frames, soft toys, toys for boys and girls, and toys for babies and toddlers. For the love of your life, Healthcare Pharmacy is stocked with fragrances, cologne, and perfume collections. For those who like to spoil themselves, pick up a spa gift bag with all the goodies in it. Don't get caught empty-handed this Christmas. Fill up that space under the Christmas tree with the help of Healthcare Pharmacy, now in Governor Square and always in Grand Harbor.
Did you know that recycling collection containers are located island-wide in Grand Cayman? The Department of Environmental Health's program is an integral part of DEH's waste management responsibility in the Cayman Islands. Start your recycling program at home today. Put your cardboard items in appropriate DEH recycling containers at all Foster's supermarkets, Kirk Market, or Hurley's Grand Harbor. Help keep Cayman clean. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. For more information about recycling, go to www.deh.gov.ky.
Your weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Pleasant good Friday morning. This is the official public weather forecast prepared by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Temperatures currently at 81 degrees. Winds are coming in from the south-southeast at 7 knots. Humidity currently at 71%. Overnight low was 77 degrees. Synopsis for today indicates moderate southeasterly winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system moves over the western Atlantic Ocean. Further north, a cold front over the Gulf of Mexico will move into the extreme northwest Caribbean tomorrow morning. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the northwest. Forecast for today, partly cloudy skies, 30% chances of showers. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be southeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Taking a look at tonight, partly cloudy skies, 40% chances of late-night showers. Temperatures will fall to low to mid-70s. Winds will be southeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Low tide 8:41 a.m., high tide 3:25 p.m., and low tide again tonight at 10:07 p.m. Sunset in the Cayman Islands 5:48 p.m., sunrise tomorrow 6:52 a.m. Outlook is for gradual decrease in cloudy, rainy conditions through Sunday morning, along with a decrease in winds, seas through Saturday evening as the front weekends. This has been official public weather forecast prepared by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service.
Your weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Brand Source Home Gallery has been appointed the exclusive Cayman supplier for Duravit bathroom products. Duravit is the leading international manufacturer of bathroom ceramics, tubs, and showers, recognized around the world for beautiful, functional products. Winner of top industry awards, Duravit collaborates with leading European designers to provide the most elegant and innovative bath products. If you're ready to bring style, comfort, and innovation to your bathroom, visit Brand Source Home Gallery to see the new Duravit showroom and meet the in-house bath designer. Whether you're planning a functional family bathroom or a personal spa retreat, browse the Duravit collection and be inspired. Brand Source Home Gallery, delivering a new standard in custom designed bathrooms. Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
And a pleasant good morning to our drivers on the road. Just want to remind you, buckle up, stay safe. Coming in from the east, slow moving traffic as you head towards Lantern Point area and Prospect. Things begin to slow down as well by the Kings Roundabout heading onto the Linford-Pearson Highway. Taking a look into town, smooth flowing traffic by Bobby Thompson area. Taking a look over by the airport, things begin to slow down as well. Clear flowing traffic through Edward Street and Shedden Road. Taking a look over at Godfrey Nixon Way, things begin to slow down as you head towards Eastern Avenue. Moderate flow of traffic around the Butterfield Roundabout as you head in and around the Industrial Park area. Traffic seems to be nice there currently. Coming in from the west, no problems. If you have any questions or incidents to report, give us a call, 949-6990. Buckle up, be safe.
Paramount Carpet Cayman Brac pre-Christmas blowout sale is back for 2 days only. Friday, December 14th and Saturday, December 15th. Save big with up to 75% off a selection of tiles and carpets. Wall and floor tiles as low as $10 per box. Universal mats from as low as $5 a pair. And up to 15% off many more items. Paramount Carpet Cayman Brac pre-Christmas blowout sale. Friday, December 14th, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And Saturday, December 15th, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Followed by the Children's Christmas Party at Spot Bay Park, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Paramount Carpet, Cayman Brac, located 3436 Spot Bay Road. Call 948-2665.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpet.
Getting ready for Christmas is all about the finishing touches.
The icing on the cake, the table neatly set, decorations specially placed, and gifts thoughtfully wrapped, all to share with those we love.
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Brit K, where people come first.
Brit K's offices close at noon, December 24th and 31st.
Visit Britk.ky.
To facilitate late-night shoppers, the linen and electrical departments and the bathroom palace at International Lighting, Ed's Plaza, North Songway will open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday until December 15th and open late until 10 p.m. through December 24th. Spend $25 in-store and drop your name in the box because 3 Cayman Airways tickets to any of Carl's destinations are up for grabs. Drawing will take place on December 21st. International Lighting, Ed's Plaza, North Songway. Telephone 949-5141. You can also check them out on Fridays and Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the entrance of the Buntown Church of God Chapel for loads of discounted items. Merry Christmas from International Lighting.
In local sports, Cayman's Motions Unlimited Girls competitive gymnasts brought home a collection of first-place awards from the Gasparilla Fall Invitational in Lakeland, Florida. The XL Gold team of Cece Bradley, Morgan Crowley, Emma Dakin, Bethany Hawkins, Sophia Simpson, and Ty Wammer achieved first places in all-around. Balance beam for Emma Dakin and Bethany Hawkins, first in floor for Morgan Crowley and Bethany Hawkins, and first place overall for the entire XL Gold team in the USA division. Also, first-time competitors at Gasparilla Level 3 gymnast Alex Owen and Naomi Tibbett showcased their routines and skills. In international sports and football news, Chelsea fans who sang an anti-Semitic chant in the Europa League game with MOL Vidi have, quote, shamed the club. A vocal minority chanted offensive clubs about Tottenham fans early in Thursday's 2-2 draw in Hungary. It came 3 days after 4 fans were suspended for allegedly racially abusing Raheem Sterling. UEFA said it will await the referee's report before deciding on whether any action will be taken. And Brendan Rodgers praised his Celtic side's huge achievement after they dramatically secured a place in the last 32 of the Europa League. The Scottish champions finished second in Group B despite losing 2-1 to last year's semi-finalist Salzburg. It took an unlikely Rosenborg equalizer in Leipzig to push Celtic over the line, but Rodgers was delighted with his side over the last 6 games.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with ORRETT Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. We have a WhatsApp message. We have one caller on hold as well, so we'll take the caller first. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning, good morning. How are you? Compliments of the season to you.
Yeah, same to you, and health and prosperous New Year to you all and the listening public.
Thank you very much, sir.
I deal with Mr. Honorable Roy Borden first.
Yes.
I am very proud of him. I got all his books. In fact, I buy some and give them away.
Okay.
And the last one he launched was at the Hartwell, and I was kind of discouraged to see more people didn't show up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we treat our Caymanians.
Yes, unfortunately.
We have to do better than that. I went to his retirement celebration, as you said. Had a good turnout, but I was expecting more people because I went early to try and get a seat. But everything went off good. And I follow Mr. Roy Borden a long ways. I remember when he used to play football there. And I don't know if I can put it on the air, because he might not have heard it before, because people like talk behind your back. But his 2 legs, they call him drumstick legs. So I'm very proud of him. And me personally think, far down the line, when they can knight somebody, he should be nominated for knighthood. Because he done a good job and still doing a good job. Going to my good friend Patterson now, I remember a little bit about him. I was up Jamaica at the time to ask him what we're doing there.
No, I won't.
Him and Tuna Small had his little office down on John's Lane. And the saying goes, when it was so small, when you step through the front door, you step not through the back door. A very small office down on John's Lane. That's where they were trying to gain power. And Shearer was coming back from England, and it was having a demonstration that Tony wouldn't go because he wouldn't go to demonstration because all the airtime he go to here gets locked up. He clash with the police, he gets locked up. But he wouldn't go in about to make up the signs in the office there. And what the sign was saying, we got wood, we want water. So I had to throw it up that. So we go back a long ways, and they took power, I think it was 72, I believe. Anyhow, Tony became Mr. Housing. And so I'm hoping I can get past the book and read it. So they went a long ways. And me personally believe I don't want to go into my politics. Leave that alone. We got to own you. So you all have a Merry Christmas, and Christmas would not mean anything if he did not accomplish his journey.
Yes.
To die and rose again for our sins.
Okay.
The birth would not mean too much if he hadn't considered his completed journey.
Caller, Mr. Devil, during the talks for the formation of the Federation of the West Indies in the late 50s and early 60s, and there were several trips that Mr. Willie Farrington, Mr. Ormond Panton, Mr. Duncan Marin, Jack Rose went on some. Mr. Ormond, Mr. Ernest Panton, and Jack Rose went on others. Where were you during that period of time? Were you in Cayman in the late 50s, early 60s during the Federation of the West Indies, the establishment of that?
I was going to see at the time, but I was home when they had a big meeting at the town hall there, when Dr. Roy got up and made his big speech and convinced them to remain a crown colony or become a crown colony instead of going with Jamaica. I was at the meeting.
Okay. Well, one more question that I have. This one is a cultural one. In West Bay, when you do stew conchs, right? Do you do it with pipe? Because we have this big argument in Georgetown with Lord Graham Rankin. His argument is that the reason that we had to put pie in conch in Georgetown was because we couldn't get that many conchs, so we had to stretch it with the pie. Whereas in East End, they had all the conchs that they could get, that they needed. So when they cooked a conch dinner, it was all conch and no pie. In West Bay, what's the tradition? How do you cook stew conch, with pie or without pie?
We used to cook it with pie, but conch was not...
wasn't scarce in West Bay.
Wasn't scarce, no. Yep. We could go in the catboat, right at Marcus there, and that Shalabar, get on board and start throwing the conchs in the boat.
Yep.
And as she get loaded, then we push off a little ways, so conchs would not scarce to them.
Yeah.
So we always use sea pie with it.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, caller. And just want to let Lord Graham know that we had conchs in the North Sound. We had them in South Sound as well, Red Bay area. We have two callers. Let's go to the phone lines. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine. What's all of this?
How do you cook conch, with pie or without?
I do with the pie, but I prefer without the pie. But I know myself as a child, pie was always in our conch too.
Always.
And it's a real thin one. Some of these people put down real old thick flour and it turns you off. You understand? But I raised that with being cooked with sea pie, and it was very, very thin and beautiful. But I guess you're on a decision. I'm going to be going now soon. You're going on vacation?
Yeah, today's the last day of taking a break until I think the first show will be on the Friday after New Year. Friday.
Oh, you're going to miss the big old pot of conch soup. Wow. Oh, boy. But anyhow, Mr. O.C., I heard you this morning giving all the times of the break on your station. When are we going to get this thing for 10 o'clock, for this program at 10 o'clock in the morning?
I'm going to push for it definitely next year. We have been talking about it. I know the director has it under consideration. I don't think that there is any that we have to really search for advertisers for it, even though we would really want the half an hour more for more talking rather than advertising. But as you know, you can't have a show without having advertisers and stuff like that. But that's something that we will be looking into in the new year, really, because it's people are asking for it and we want to do it.
I just want to say that everything that has anything to do with government, we always get a shortcut somewhere here in Ireland. So sad. I'll leave it at that. No disrespect to you and the government.
How is your Christmas distribution thing going?
I've been shopping for the last couple of days, and it's looking very, very well. So putting names on my list and so forth. So it's looking good.
Mm-hmm. Did you find out? Did you get the information on that lady that we were talking about? Where she is?
No, but I'm going to find her. Don't worry. I'll dig her out.
Okay.
I'll find her.
Okay.
Oh, see, I'll let you go. But you asked me a couple of days, about a week or so ago, if that bus stop up here on the end of the road.
Yes.
The public buses. It is a bus stop, but have you noticed all of the for sales cars and they're blocking it? Have you ever noticed that?
Well, not only that, in the mornings now, that's our little stop there. When we finish our ride, and people are using it to park their cars there when they go to walk as well. That little half circle that is there by the light pole and by the sign, that's happening also.
Yes, and there's about 2-3 cars from time to time there for sale, and it's sparkling in the door mud of the bus stop, So, people just need to have some consideration. But I'll leave that at that.
Okay, thank you. You enjoy. We'll talk, definitely.
So will you still have the program going while you're gone? Or
No, the program won't be. Won't be going until January. Today's the last day.
Well, thank you for your big Christmas present.
Thank you. You're welcome. Let's go to the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Oh, not bad for an old man, eh?
And when you cook conchs, how do you cook it with pie or not? This is a big conch pie survey this morning that we're having on here,
I was still listening to that and say, I still like Henry Bush. I don't cook on my
eat them.
Hello?
Yep, go right ahead.
Interesting thought just came to me this morning. The Christmas, why do they call it Christmas? It had to do with the Christ child being born, right? But over the years, things change. It's no more Christ. It's Chris for Kris Kringle, Santa Claus.
It's become more commercialized, and the commercial aspect of it is more prominent than the religious aspect in some instances.
You hardly hear anything about Jesus being born of Christ or why or anything. All here is what Santa Claus going to bring me. I must be good for Santa Claus to bring me something. It's all people I've forgot completely the meaning of Christmas. And there's some if you get a present, they hate you. I mean, the wise men gave Jesus the baby gifts. They didn't give Mary and Joseph. It's interesting how many things that people really don't know. Like Jesus was actually born on the 19th of March. But with changing the calendar, he was actually born in the year 4 of our calendar now. So it's interesting that in 2000, I expected some great events to happen. But 2004 was actually 2,000 years after Jesus born. When they had more natural catastrophes in the world, including Ivan, than any other time.
Yep.
Yeah. And the wise men were not kings, they were astrologers. Remember, they saw his birth like 2 years before, like a year and a half even before he born, through astrology, because at certain times all the planets are in direct alignment. And that would happen then. I think every 300 years. And they knew a great soul would come to us at that time, because God sends great souls, prophets, at certain times to enlighten mankind.
Okay.
There's a new one born now who just was 2 years old last week. I won't go into all that now, but unfortunately, people forget that too, like how Jesus, Nicodemus did, and then things would come out of Nazareth. So all the signs, they're in the Bible, but people just don't want to believe it. Because God wouldn't send a prophet in that country, you know.
Yeah. Well, Caller, we trust that we trust that more emphasis will be placed on the religious aspect of it, and even those who are focused more on the commercial part of it, if they're focused on that, then to me their focus should be, and we trust that their focus should be towards helping those who are less fortunate in our societies.
Bob, my brother Jesus, the meeting going on about his birthday, but anyway, Jesus said, forgive them for they don't know what they're doing.
Thank you very much, caller. We're going to take one more caller before we go to a break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning, Lucy.
Good morning, Miss Lucille. How are you doing? How do you like your stew conks?
I want to say something and put something in the mix. You know, the sea pie was the consommé, the sauce. You know, it was done thinly. If you can imagine, when they would roll it and then they would spread it in their hand, it was very, very thin. And then you put it on the pot. You put it all over the pot, on the top of it. And then you put your cover, and you left your cover on. And that would consommé, make the sauce thicker.
Yes.
So that the conch could have a better taste.
Okay.
Otherwise, the coconut milk would just be watery.
And those days, did we use we didn't use self-rising flour. You had flour, and if you wanted it to rise, you put your yeast in it, right?
That's correct. But you see, it was so thin. It was as thin as hair. You know, like a film. It was just a film that covered it. And when that cooked, it would get mixed up with the sauce and consommé. Thicken the sauce.
Yes.
That's the reason for it.
Yes.
And it has now been, it's gone to its own derivatives that they put dumplings in it and they put other things. But it was not a lot of flour. It was just sufficient to make it thick and consommé. At least that's how they cooked it on Shed Road.
Yeah. And these days, Miss Lucille, you hear about conch soup as well. I don't recall having conch soup in my younger days. You had boiled conch or you had stewed conch. Those were the ways that you basically had it. Now you hear these concoctions of conch soup and all of that as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. But in our days, you remember, it was always a one-pot food, one pot. We stewed everything. We stewed salt beef, we stewed crabs, we stewed lobster, we stewed beans, we stewed corned beef, everything that we stewed because of the limitations of all the other things that we had.
You're right. And did it mean also that it would last longer? Because remember now, not a lot of people had refrigeration devices as well.
How the beef was done, you could keep it out for 3 days, and then you set it on the fire again, and then you heat it up, and every time you want it. But because they put that fat in it, you see, that was the reason for the fat being at the bottom. Being at the bottom so it could retain the beef for you, and it wouldn't spoil. You know, you could keep beef up to 7 days.
Yep.
You know, keep heating it over and over. But interesting topic. But I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody in the Cayman Islands, in particular, our older folks, and hopefully that we'll remember that Christmas is about giving people and not about commercialization. God bless all of us.
Thank you, Ms. Lucille, and all the best to you and your family as well. We're going to take a stew count break now. When we return, For the Record, we'll continue, so please stay tuned.
West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
You need Fidelity Health. At Fidelity, they offer great coverage through a highly rated and trusted carrier, payments I can afford, and with no on-island deductible on all the plans they offer. Best of all, they offered my company 50% back on the first month's premium.
Make the easy switch to Fidelity today and get 50% cash back on your first month's premium until December 31st. Call 949-7822 to make your switch now.
Kirk Home Center is your holiday season headquarters. From tabletop to 7-foot-tall Christmas trees, tree skirts, rugs, garland, and wreaths, to traditional lights and icicle lights for indoor and outdoor use, and LED outdoor scenic spotlights. Ornaments like shatterproof balls and treetop stars, and holiday accent pieces like candles, diffusers, and nativity sets, tablecloths, glasses, mugs, and more. Get it all from Kirk Home Center, your holiday season headquarters.
So you made Santa's list this year? What do you want for Christmas?
All I want for Christmas is a new car or truck or SUV and a too picky.
Yeah, you're not cheap either. Just a car. You know Van Motors still has your sale, your choice going on. You can save thousands on purchase price, extend warranty or service, upgrade to a sports package, or gift your savings to someone else.
You mean you gonna save when you buy that car for me? My gift to you is letting you use $1,000 you save for yourself.
Your sale, your choice at Vamped Motors. Save up to $6,000 on selected vehicles. You decide how you want to save, spend, or do both with up to $6,000. Your sale, your choice at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
Prospect and Red Bay residents, you are invited to the annual Potluck Christmas Party Saturday, December 15th from 7 p.m. until midnight on the Seafarers Association Lounge. Bring your favorite dish, beverage, and enjoy family-friendly social with Regeneration Band, and of course prizes will be there. Transportation for the elderly will be provided. For more information, please contact 922-5276 or email prospectcommunity345@gmail.com.
The Tuesday and Thursday edition of The Business Buzz is brought to you by Cayman Medical Supplies, providing quality pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and consumer products to healthcare providers, retailers, and ultimately the patients at a reasonable rate in a friendly, caring, and timely manner. Cayman Medical Supplies is located at number 93 Smith Road, Windward Center. Telephone 949-6211.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record with your host, ORRETT CONNOR.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guest in the studio, so this is... you had your Christmas gift, I think it was last week. This is your New Year's one today, where you get an opportunity to call in to talk about anything that you want to talk about, as long as it's legal and it can be broadcast over the air as well. One of our listeners wants us to appeal to drivers to dim their lights while approaching or driving directly behind other cars. Being blinded by bright oncoming lights is as bad as drunk driving. So I'll talk about both of those, the drunk driving as well as the dimming of lights. I believe I haven't taken a road test, a driver's test, since the 60s. So I don't know what the test involves these days. But I am of the opinion that many drivers do not know that there is something called a dim switch. It used to be called a dipstick. Years gone by, a dim switch. In the old cars, it used to be on the floor. For those left-hand drive cars, it was on the floor on the left-hand side. So you took your left foot and you hit it to dim the lights. It's now usually located in the steering wheel. But I'm of the opinion that many people don't know that one exists, and if they know that it exists, they don't know how to use it. Now, the challenges are with those people who don't dim their lights, and the other challenge is with the newer vehicles with the different type of lighting, with the LED lighting that it is much brighter. And of course, those drivers who are getting older then have even more challenges with those bright lights when they're driving. But it is not unusual to see it even in the mornings. In the morning, 6 something in the morning, people are coming down with their bright lights on and they're driving behind other vehicles. So what is there to see in front of you but the vehicles in front of you that you should be concentrating on? There is nothing else for you to see. So if you are unable to see the car in front of you without having your bright lights on, then you have a problem. You shouldn't really be on the road in the first place if you have to use your bright lights that time of the morning or while you're driving behind another vehicle, because obviously those the other vehicles in front of you will have their headlights on so you can see them as well. The other issue has to do with drunk driving, or in some instances, some places they call it drink driving, and there's a big debate whether or not it should be drunk driving or drink driving. Whichever one you want to call it, we want to ensure that people do not do that during the holidays. It is not unusual when you're driving at nights, and they give themselves away. So if they're not drifting over the white line and drifting back and forth, they're driving at 15 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour zone and 20 miles an hour in a 40 mile an hour zone. They believe that by driving slowly, that they're not attracting attention, but they are attracting attention. So, and I'm sure that the police, the traffic police who are out there are wise to that as well, that those people who are driving slowly on the road, many times they're under the influence of alcohol as well. And I want to applaud those organizations who will be supporting drivers who I forget what they call it, but anyway, the designated drivers or designated buses or vehicles to take people home who have had too much to drink. And I would also urge those persons who operate licensed liquor establishments, bars, nightclubs, whatever, that their bartenders should be extremely observant in terms of persons who are drinking and whether or not they're going to be driving, because there are some jurisdictions where licensed premises and bar owners can be liable if someone goes out there and hurt themselves, or if they hurt others on the road as a result of drunk driving, that they can be liable as well. I'm not sure whether or not that obtains in the Cayman Islands, but there is always that possibility as well. So bartenders, you want to be more observant as well. We hope, and we have heard already, that there will be more police presence on the roads, and we welcome that also. And if it means that when you pick them up driving drunk, that they have to stay in the slammer for a few days, if that helps them to learn a lesson, then so be it. So the bright lights, the drunk driving as well. But we really need to appeal to those persons with the bright lights, because it is getting worse and worse each day. We have a caller. Do we want to take the break first and then the caller after? Let's take the caller first. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, Mr. O.C. Purple Ribbon is the organization of this.
Thank you. Tell me about it.
O.C., it is a shame that we're going to have an organization to help take home drunkards at the end of the new year or the Christmas time. That is a shame. That is encouraging people. And anybody who thought they won't drink too much is a damn fool, excuse my French this morning. And these bar rooms, they ain't going to monitor nobody because I'm sitting and make their biggest money.
for the beginning of the new year. You understand?
But
so they don't give.
You don't think it would be on somebody's conscience at the end of the day if they know that they're a bartender and that person that they have been serving drinks to, and they realize that the person has had too many, but they continue to give them, and that person then goes out on the road, either loses their life or causes the loss of life of others. You don't think that person will have a guilty conscience? They have to live with that at the end of the day.
Yes, they do. They do, but believe me, it will ease up at some point in time, and they'll go back the next year and do the same crap again to the people.
But we know, caller, we know that people are going to go out there and drink. That is an accepted fact. So we have to applaud those organizations, the Purple Ribbon and stuff like that are doing that. But they're not doing it to encourage people to drink. They know that that's going to happen. What they're doing is that they're saying, we know that people are going to drink. We're going to just try to do our part to ensure that it doesn't have, an adverse impact, that drinking does not have an adverse impact on that person or someone else.
They have a device in the U.S. that anyone who is drunk, and they try to drive their car will lock on them instantly. They can't go inch further.
Yeah, but that is only with certain vehicles. Yeah. That happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Or see, the bright light. The other morning I was coming on 10 minutes to 6, and a car was behind me as I properly hit the highway there. And that son of a gun kept his bright lights on me until I got down to Thomason roundabout. And you know what I did? I drive slower than normal. I say, no, what could him play this game? He dimmed his lights when he got in the next scene by Thomason, and I know he probably cussed me out. And then he dimmed his lights to continue going to Georgetown. These guys.
So they were aware of what he was doing. He was aware of what he was doing.
Yeah, he wanted me to speed up. He could speed up, and I refused to. Sooner then he made me slow down. But there's a lot of bright lights out there all over the night, especially in the morning time. It is ridiculous, and they're all different colors. And where are the police officers? They got cars out there that have their reverse light into pink and blue and green and whatever the case. And you don't even know they're reversing until you see the car moving. But anyhow, I'll leave it at that. They got some more important people calling you, not just me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have one more caller. We're going to ask that caller to hang in there. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will take your call. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
I remember playing at 7 Mile Beach as a boy, eating mango by the sea, learning how to snorkel. My mother, she worked so hard to provide for our family so that we could have those moments. Seeing her age has been tough. That strong, capable woman, now in need of daily support, it's my time to be strong for her.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of the careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square, enjoy a Broadway show or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Retain your peace of mind by installing a reliable generator, knowing that your family is safe and secure during a power outage. At Corporate Electric, we care about the well-being of our customers and their loved ones. We are the official distributor of Kohler SDMO generators in the Cayman Islands and can conduct a free assessment of your house to suggest the perfect fit. Call us at 946-2277. Visit our website or the Facebook page for more details.
The facts on domestic violence are widely misunderstood. According to the Center for Disease Control, Harvard University, and many academic studies, men and women are equal victims in domestic violence. Even more understood is that in 2/3 of domestic violence incidents, women hit first. It's time to change the narrative. Remember, a healthy relationship will never require you to sacrifice your friends, your dreams, or your dignity. Stop the slap, Stop the cycle. Stop the violence.
The Stop the Slap campaign has been proudly sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Stop the slap. Stop the cycle. Stop the violence.
It's more than what we do. It's who we are. We were your official bank of the quincentennial celebrations in 2003. We were your Bank of the Year 4 times. We were voted as the inaugural top employer in 2010. We were the inaugural Business of the Year awardee in 2017. Who are we? We are Cayman National, your local bank, proudly serving you for over 40 years. It's because of you that our journey continues.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with ORRETT CONNOR. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to you too, Olsey.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Okay, thanks. And it's such a beautiful day.
It is.
God grant us another beautiful day. No snow, just beautiful sunshine. Yes. Well, I like the snow too, though, but I don't think in the Cayman Islands, I don't know how we would manage that. But anyway, I kind of agree with your caller there, your last caller there. Is it only one time of the year that we should be doing this? No. Oh, see, there is people that in this island that we sort of look up to, as the older people would say, or the elderly people would say, that should be setting an example. And they go out there and celebrate and drink and whatnot and falling off of bar stools, and then you hear that the police have to take them home, or their gardeners have to come and take them home and all of that. If those people think that it is only just us, the people, is hearing all of this, the younger generation knows about it, hears about it. So I'm wondering if this couldn't go on until, with the carrying people home. And I also think that any bartender, because I was one of them, any bartender that would sell a person or give a person a drink until they're totally drunk, that bartender should be removed. That establishment should have their license taken away for a certain amount of time. I know they do it in other parts of the world. I know they do that. To teach these people a lesson. Because when they kill some innocent person that is walking home from work or waiting to get a bus or something, you can't bring that person back. And that person, whether they have families or whether they don't, you just can't bring that person back. Another thing too is this not concerning drinking. It's concerning a lot of the older people need to get medications and stuff like that. I think friends and family should see what those older people, or see what their families need, such as medications and stuff, and don't wait to Christmas Eve to try to get it for them. I've made many trips running up and down with older folks that have families, that have cars, and don't really help them. They try to get their medication before the holidays. See that they have their medications and things like that before the holidays.
Yep, that's good advice. Very good advice.
In a family.
And I don't know if your religion allows you to eat conch or not, but if you do, how do you like your conch, with pie or without pie?
Oh, conch, my dear. I wish I had some right now. But I like it with pie.
Okay.
And it not those, oh God, I wish that I could cook conch like my mother, unfortunately.
Let me tell you, those people in those days, they could cook. Let me tell you, they talk about chefs these days. There was no cooks in the world that were as creative as they were.
Yes, and with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
With nothing, but I can make you hungry. But yes, I do like it with pie, the thin one, and the conch that it can melt in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much.
And you have a blessed day.
You enjoy too, and enjoy the holidays also. We have a call. Let's take the caller, and we can always do the WhatsApp afterwards, because I don't believe we're going to have enough time to do the WhatsApp and the caller before the 9 o'clock break. What do you think? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, just one little observation again.
Okay.
When they're talking about all the helping drunk drivers to get home, because they say something about their life, I'm appealing to all especially the church people, when they go into church on Christmas, even before, there's a lot of people that have to work on Christmas, and the buses are kind of more scanty on Christmas Day. If they would stop and give someone a ride, if they're not even going to their church, it is what God would want them to do on Christmas, you know?
Okay. Thank you very much for that, caller. Thank you very much. Have enough time for the WhatsApp? Let's play that.
Mr. Connor,
hi.
You want to hear a good concoction with conch? You mix it with ocean turbot and cook it down with coconut milk and bread kind. No, a better stew pot than that you can't find. We call it tapada.
Tapada.
And that is the best way you want to cook stew conch with ocean turbot and coconut milk and bread kind.
Sounds like I'm going to have to head to Bordentown a little further up from me and get some of that tapada. Stewed conch with ocean turbot. Wow, that sounds... I believe I've had that someplace before. And, yeah, I did have that someplace. Not too long ago as well, as a matter of fact, yeah. Folks, we've reached top of the hour. We have the headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, the conversation will continue here on For the Record. So please stay tuned.
Radio K-Man. Radio K-Man's newsroom. Headline. These are the biggest stories right now.
Work has started on the construction of a new schoolhouse that will sit at the site of the newest attraction, the Children's Garden at the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park. The Rotary Education Center will take about 12 weeks to build, and it's the first initial project making up just one piece of the entire project, set for completion next year. Theresa May's bid to make her Brexit deal more acceptable to MPs has suffered a blow after European leaders said it was, quote, not open for renegotiation. She wanted legal assurances on the Irish backstop and had warned the deal itself was, quote, at risk over the issue. But European Commissioner President Jean-Claude Juncker said there could be clarifications but no renegotiation. And U.S. President Donald Trump's former lawyer insists he was directed by his boss to make hush money payments during the 2016 presidential campaign. Speaking after he was sentenced to prison for campaign finance and fraud crimes, Michael Cohen told ABC News, quote, he directed me to make the payments. The president has denied ever asking Cohen to make illegal payments. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music, and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with ORRETT CONNOR. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
So you made Santa's list this year? What do you want for Christmas?
All I want for Christmas is a new car or truck or SUV and a too-picky.
Yeah, you're not cheap either. Just a car. You know Van Motor still has your sale, your choice going on. You can save thousands on purchase price, extend warranty or service, upgrade to a sports package, or gift your savings to someone else.
You mean you gonna save when you buy that car for me? My gift to you is letting you use $1,000 you save for yourself.
Your sale, your choice at Vamped Motors. Save up to $6,000 on selected vehicles. You decide how you want to save, spend, or do both with up to $6,000. Your sale, your choice at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square. Enjoy a Broadway show or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Stay connected and enjoy your favorite holiday moments with Flow. Make Christmas memories great with the best phones at amazing holiday prices. Get the Samsung Galaxy A8 from $43.25 a month or the S9 from $70.75 a month from Flow. Sign up for Flow Quad Play to share up to 50 gigs of data and 5,000 calling minutes. It's amazing value and great gifts for loved ones or yourself. Plus, plenty of chances to win Flow holiday prizes. So make it Flow for everything mobile this Christmas. Visit discoverflow.ky for more. Terms and conditions apply.
The holidays wouldn't be the same without a little boom from Fireworks Limited. Cayman's biggest firework discount megastore is now open behind massive equipment in Industrial Park. Fireworks Limited has a megastore full of new fireworks and offers huge volume discounts. Stock up early and save big with free gifts with every purchase and the biggest variety of products on island. Fireworks Limited is behind massive in Industrial Park with tons of parking. Open until 6 p.m. every day except Sunday and open until 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
'Tis the season to celebrate big savings at Reflections Apparel, Footwear and Accessory Store in their brand new location with lots more parking on Shedden Road beside Mango Tree Restaurant. Ladies, you can find the perfect holiday party dress, and men have a wide selection of dress and polo shirts with blazers to match. With brands like Levi's and Dockers, Reflections will keep you stylish this holiday season from head to toe. Find great gift ideas like leather belts and wallets, perfumes and accessories, or grab a gift certificate in any denomination. Shop the new Reflections for all your Christmas needs. Extended hours are from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays.
Having a party at the beach or a team building exercise at the park? Reserving your cabana is easy with the Public Works Department online booking system. Create your account and use the online calendar to pick your desired date and facility. You can even pick the cabana you want to use. Look for your confirmation email, print it off, and bring it with you as proof of reservation. Enjoying our natural environment has never been so easy. Visit www.eservices.gov.ky to book your cabana today.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with ORRETT CONNOR. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guest in the studio, so we have open line this morning, and this will be the last broadcast for the Record for the year 2018, and we will resume in January of 2019. We have a WhatsApp message. I think this one has to do with fuel prices. Let's hear what this listener has to say.
Good morning, ORRETT. This is Wayne. Can you begin a thread discussion about fuel costs and how off-reg is a total failure, wasting the taxpayers' money? I am online right now, and anybody can do this. I found out you can buy gasoline on the futures markets. You can trade, buy, sell, trade, speculate on the U.S. commodity markets for gasoline, the contract is 42,000 U.S. gallons of fuel, and that fuel is physically deliverable to the trader if he decides to take delivery. 99% of the traders don't do that, obviously, but if you wanted to put the fuel to use, one can buy 42,000 gallons of fuel for approximately, I think the current trade price is $1.45 U.S. per gallon. Now, I don't quite get that. Why is the fuel here in Cayman in the equivalent British gallon CI dollar conversion, it comes out to $5.60 U.S. per gallon, Why is it that someone could buy essentially the same fuel for $1.45, and let's say for argument's sake it costs you 100% of the commodity price to deliver it here to the Cayman Islands, say from a depot, storage depot in New York, East Coast of the United States, Miami. Say it costs you double. You'd be able to bring U.S. fuel for approximately $2.90, so let's say three U.S. dollars per gallon, exclusive of any import duties. Can you get into the weeds about that? I think it's time the people stand up and find alternate sources of fuel. Thanks so much. Take care.
Okay, I want to thank that caller for that and that prompt as well, because it actually was one of the topics that I wanted to talk about this morning as well, and in particular the article on the Cayman News Service website, and it is headed "Off-Reg Presses Fuel Suppliers on Price," and it talks about the price because a few days ago I heard of this drastic drop in prices of fuel, but I was still seeing at some gas stations unleaded premium still at $4.99 per gallon. I think it has since dropped to $4.70 something somewhere, and for some reason we believe that, we've gotten a break now. Well, we really haven't gotten a break, because we have not seen the price of gasoline go down substantially for about at least the last 6 months, I would say, or maybe even longer than that. This article here, and the representative from Off-Reg almost admits that there is collusion in the Cayman Islands between the fuel suppliers in terms of the prices that we pay at the pump, and why you do not see such a huge difference in the price. Another reason for that also is that we have these lease and lease back arrangements with the owners of gas stations. So the suppliers, the two big suppliers on the island, they're the ones who are in control of everything. And I challenge our legislators. This is one area I believe that at the end of the day, while people are reluctant and hesitant and want to be extremely cautious about the imposition of price controls, I believe that this is one area where you would get enormous support from the public if we were to put in price controls on the on fuel in the Cayman Islands. Now, it seems as if those persons at Off-Reg do not have the capability, whether it be because of lack of information that is given to them, whether or not it be because they don't have the relevant expertise to be able to say, based on the prices that are paid and the cost in terms of transportation to the Cayman Islands, what a reasonable price of fuel should be in the Cayman Islands. Gasoline at the pump should be in the Cayman Islands, at the same time allowing for the suppliers to make a profit. We have to recognize the significant impact that the price of fuel has on the Cayman Islands economy. It has everything to do with our electricity. It has everything to do with our transport system. It has everything to do with how much you are able to keep in your pocket, especially if you have to rely on public transport, or even if you don't have to rely on public transport, in terms of what you pay. So it is one of the most significant impacting factors on our economy here in the Cayman Islands, the price of fuel. And I challenge our legislators to take these oil companies, these suppliers on head on, take them on head on, and impose legislation on them. And if they want to leave, someone else will be more than willing to come in. We do not see, even though I believe some of these companies are publicly traded companies, we do not see what their profit margins are, how much they make. And we believe, like in many other instances, the insurance industry and other industries, other businesses here in the Cayman Islands, that the Cayman Islands public, we here in the Cayman Islands, subsidize many of their operations in other countries. Why? Because we're seen as being affluent, but even more so is because we sit on our laurels and we complain, but we do nothing about it at the end of the day. We accept it grinning. We accept it. Even though we complain about it, we know that it hurts, but we accept it. One good example of that is this same article here. I don't always read blogs, but in this article, there were blogs in comments in relation to this article and off-reg and everything else. And there is one piece written, and it says, Donnie says, and Donnie goes into the specifics and the pricing and everything. Very technical in terms of what Donnie has said. Whether or not Donnie is a he or a she, I don't know. I suspect I know who it is based on the way that it is written, and it is so technical and everything else. But all of those persons who were commenting on it made their snide comments about things and tried to be hilarious and everything else, but no one actually took serious what he was talking about, and he gives the writer gives a historical perspective and everything on fuel in the Cayman Islands and how it came about. I have some familiarity with it as well, in terms of the suppliers on the island and the fact that they may have been grandfathered in when in 1972 we ended up with our trade and business license law and our local companies control license, because it is the belief of many that their licenses is for them to provide bulk fuel and not necessarily to be engaged in the other activities that they're engaged in terms of the ownership of service stations and everything else. And as a result of that, they're able to control the market. Our legislators must wise up. And if you don't have the necessary technical know-how and otherwise, then get someone out there who has it, and let's get this whole issue of the price of fuel sorted out so that we're not held hostage to the fuel suppliers any longer, and that we're not paying out of our nose for fuel when we know that we should not be paying as well. We have a few callers. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. Mr. Connor, I realize you said today is your last day until the new year.
Yes.
Thought I'd take the opportunity to thank you for entertaining us over the past year, and to also wish you and your family a safe, healthy, and happy holiday season.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And I know you were talking about conchs.
Yes. How do you like yours? Pie or without pie?
Well, actually, I'm not a flour person.
Uh-huh.
So I much prefer mine just all conch. But I grew up watching my mother cook it, and the way Miss Lucille explained it is exactly how she did it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it became this sea pie thing. And I believe that because the flour was so thin, it was almost transparent. And you could see through it to see what was happening beneath it. So I kind of believe that's where the sea pie, the name came from. I might be wrong, not that old. And then someone brought up about conch soup. Now, I'll stand corrected here, but I believe that came from Jamaica. That's a very popular thing in Jamaica. They make a lot of conch soup there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they don't have a lot of conch in it. I don't know if it's because they don't get a lot of conch. Or
Well, they get a lot from Pedro Banks.
Well, it depends where you're getting it.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, that's very, very popular there. And just like how they sort of, brought over the fish tea idea here. I believe that's where conch soup came from. But and in the Bahamas, they fry conch.
Yes.
So,
They call it the crack conch.
Well, they call it fried conch. They don't say crack conch. They call it fried conch. I heard crack conch here.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, so I just thought I'd offer my little thing about conch. And then I heard you talking about boiled conch. And back in my childhood days, we used to say scalding the conch.
Scald conch, yeah.
And I must tell you that, I don't know if that's a Jamaican thing or not, that's really my favorite way of having conch, and you put hot pepper on it.
Yep, pepper sauce,
yeah,
yes.
rather than stewing it. So, anyway, happy holidays to
Thank you very much to you as well. And continue to listen because I'm going to be mentioning something of interest to you before we go off the show as well. Just very quickly before we go to the next caller, I think I may have said crack conch for the Bahamas, but I believe, they call some areas in the Bahamas, they're fried conch, they call it crack conch. But they also have something called a conch salad. And those parts of the conch that we throw away here in the Cayman Islands, and I don't know any other name for it. I'm gonna have to say it on the air. The part where we used to call the bubby and stuff like that. They take that and they cut that up, and they put tomato and pepper sauce and stuff like that, and they eat it like that, and that's their conch salad as well in the Bahamas. So, various ways. Oh, while I'm at it, too, we're talking to a friend the other day, and I'll call his name, Mr. Andrew Smith. And he was talking about his trip to Cuba, and when he went to the beach in Cuba, and the Cubans there were cracking the conch shells, and they were taking the meat and throwing it out into the water. And he said, "What are you doing? What are you doing with that? You throwing that away?" They say, yeah, we just want the shell. We don't eat it. And he apparently said, "You don't want it? Give it to me." And he got it and put it in some bags and went to where he was staying and showed the lady there, how to cook it and how to boil it and stuff like that. So it goes to show you different cultures. There are things that they value in some cultures. Other cultures, they don't have the same appreciation for it, and that is understood. I think we still have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Osi.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Just fine, thank you. Yes, interesting here about the conch and all that, the talk here. And just like that lady said, that's how I like conch. Just what we call scald. You're right, boy. We always call it scald conch here. And I'm many a tale I could tell about that here, but we don't have the time, I know. And yes, maybe the conch soup thing might have come from Jamaica. Though I don't remember if it's really being that any big popular thing. I left here so long ago, permanently left here over 51 years ago. So, but they used to get the conch from Old Harbor. A lot of it came from the fishermen in Old Harbor that day here. And also, well, Pedro Keys was mostly for the fishing, because it was my father who started that for them when he went over to Jamaica and teaching them navigation and all that. But I won't go into that. There's one time he had to call booby birds there and bringing in 20,000 dozen eggs they brought in to call the government had contacted him and asked him to do that. That was in the early 1960s, very early. And David Penadams, David, my old friend, passed away now. He went with my father on that trip because I was still just about finishing up school. To do that, they had to call them boobies. So it's interesting when I hear people talking about fearing the booby bird. That's great. Booby eggs were a great delicacy here in Jamaica. The women walked around with baskets on their head in Kingston, and everybody, managers, everyone would run out, fight once they heard a woman shouting, booby eggs, you know. You put salt and black pepper on them and boil. The bright lights, they're definitely a big problem. Big problem. People driving behind you all the while, and it's a very, very annoying and distracting thing. You can't look in your rearview mirror.
Yep, it is.
Coming ahead of you. The fuel thing, it's going to take courage. That's what it takes. You got to have a tanker bringing in any amount of fuel that you need. 42,000 gallons, that's fine, but that wouldn't last an hour. You got to have something bringing in at least 50,000 barrels or something to make any kind of deliverable sense. And it's the OPEC sets the price, and I think America is signatory to OPEC also, so you wouldn't expect anywhere near the price, but it could be working out everything. I believe it could be $1, at least $1 cheaper. You got to convert it to the imperial gallon, which is you're looking at 5 to 4 because it's 40 ounces to 32 ounces a quart. So also, the duties and all that, but the government can adjust that. The thing is, without any form of direct income tax, there's really nothing to hold people's fingers to the fire. I'll always say this, to make that definite commitment. You will do this, or we will penalize you by taxing you higher, your personal profits on your company and so forth. But like I say, it takes courage. You can do it even though we are not of that method of taxation. It would take a lot of courage because we know the powerful people controlling these things and all that, the two main oil companies, and we know that, we know what is there behind all that. But I'd just like to say, you were speaking about, I remember Dr. Steve, and he mentioned Mr. Bustamante being a usurer. And a lot of young people might not know what that means. I think you do.
Yes.
A money lender. And you have people like that here, too. And you have companies like
we have the official and the unofficial ones here.
And it's a high-interest loan, but it helps people out. Believe me, many people couldn't get loans, easy loans, or money, come by money to take their little businesses out of a jam. And that's how he made his money. There's a lot about Mr. Bustamante and Mr. Norman, man, that many people don't know. The many things and sacrifices they made. If Mr. Bustamante hadn't been brave and put his life on the line in that famous 1938 march, because just some 70-odd years before that, the same soldiers there who are still there from that regiment, of course, granted, would be their generational differences, were the ones who executed and killed 600 and I think it was 83 Jamaicans on the Governor Eyre. And he was given an earldom for all that when he went back to England.
Okay.
So that's the same thing he faced. And it took 6 years before the suffrage, universal suffrage, if you want to, really came in, where the difference with less than 5% of the population voting in the 38 election, men and women, because they couldn't come up with the £50 a year, which was the qualification. And then, in 1944, 60-odd% voted in that election because of him.
Caller, I'm going to ask you to leave us there. We still have one more caller, and we're running out of time. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, O.C. How are you?
Hey, morning. How are you doing?
Not too bad, man.
I haven't recovered from last night. Those 2 6-lows last night yet.
I want
birds can't fly on one wing, so I had to get two.
Exactly. I want to brief you first about the count, and then a little bit about the gas. You know.
Okay.
But the pipe was always added in our pot on Main Street. My old lady made sure that the pipe was going to be inside of it. You know. So, but what she used to do is, if she always start with a dozen counts. If she go cook not less than a dozen counts because it's such a lot of people to feed. So we would have to stretch them from overnight. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then we
tell people how you stretch how we stretch them.
You hang them
up
on a string.
Yes.
Hang them on a string and put them on the clothesline and stretch them.
Yeah.
And you got to, when you get in the morning, now you have to pound them. You understand? Then you scald them.
And those days we didn't have any of those tenderizing hammers. The pounder usually used one of those what we used to call a pint bottle to pound them with too.
Exactly, or a regular hammer. And then while they're scalding, she preparing all the seasoning that going inside there. You understand? And remember, there's something. Those skunks, she could feel that nation when she done with her pot. You understand? So. But she never started with less than 12, you know, I guess with the amount of people to feed.
Okay. But let's go on to the fuel now because we're running out of time.
The fuel, you remember in the 70s, around the mid-70s, I took over the station in 1974, and the contract went on until 1976. And let me tell you something, the rest of the competitors wanted to close the gas station on Sundays. Because they said there was a fuel shortage. It was a big lie. You understand? So, with the circumstances or situation I was in, I had a contract and it was not in the contract so that I couldn't open on Sundays.
Okay.
So I asked the manager at the terminal and he said that once you buy the fuel, you can open it. Like, he don't control that part of it. So I would always be open on Sundays. And I mean, it was like a war going on between me and the rest of the competitors because I was opening on Sundays and grabbing a lot of business that they should have been grabbing.
Right.
But no, they wanted to change it that you close on Sundays. You understand? And can you imagine what would happen if if that was in the law? No, that gas stations couldn't open on Sundays.
Yeah, and some of those gas station owners at that time, they were quite religious and they were Christian, so that's probably one of the other reasons why they didn't want to open on Sundays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you see, with me now, I mean, I was like the new kid on the block. I didn't really know what was happening with them.
Yeah.
I know what I was committed to and what my obligations were.
Exactly.
So I had to deal with that.
You remember that I used to work at Miss Alice's gas station too when I used to go to school, and before I left in 1967. I used to work at Alice's gas station after school and on weekends. Exactly. And then you remember the old Vauxhall, we used to get her in Head West Bay.
Yeah, man.
And I worked at Mango Mike's gas station,
I know, man.
as well. Me and Norman Williams, we call him Birdo. He and I worked there as well. Man.
I believe you had access to cars quicker than anybody else in town.
Yep, that's true. Yep. Everybody used to hang out with me because they knew I could get a car. Anyway, thanks a lot. I hope to see you before. I don't know if you're going to be down this evening.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I'll catch you this evening then. We have one more caller, but before I go to that caller, one person has said that they disagree, beg to differ on the price controls. That they feel, when it comes to fuel, that they feel just introduce level playing field competition. Level playing field competition. Okay, I can see with that. One of the arguments that Donnie used also had to do with the fact that driving, or was it him or somebody else, and was it that person or someone else spoke about the fact that driving from Savannah to town, that person crosses 6 service stations, 6 gas stations on the way from Savannah to town. And they talk about the fact that even if we were to introduce more service stations, that it's not going to change the price. There's not going to be any more competition because there is collusion there already as well. when it comes to that. Let's go to the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
I'm fine. I have my throat is a little hoarse this morning, but I just would like to wish you a very, very, very Merry Christmas and a successful New Year.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure working with you throughout the year and throughout the year. I know you're going on a long vacation, and I like that because I know that you take time for your family and your friends. That's a great thing to do. And most people should do that. I'd like to support you in your sentiments about the politicians and what they should be paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we do not have the kind of politicians that we have in other jurisdictions, and that's the problem.
Yep.
From the beginning, from the outset, once you go back to 1831, you can see the people who started the first legislature. They were not the people off the streets. They were not the farmers. They were not the. They were the elite. They were the masters and the people who landed class. And that has not changed. So you're not going to get people of today who are not independent minded who will be able to change the society. They will always acquiesce to what the strong want, because as President J. Roy Borden has said in his new book, and that the weak cannot dictate to the strong. And I say that the enlisted man cannot dictate to the general,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and the servant cannot dictate to the master. And that is the problem. That's the system that drives us today. And so we do not have the kind of people that we elected to have the initiative to change, to make the drastic change that we have to make. And we were going to always go. We're lucky that we're getting gas below $5. We're lucky to get gas below $5 because there's not such a thing as a Fair Competition Act,
mm-hmm.
because we believe in the free enterprise system, and we say that should run rampant over every other consideration. And as long as we have that sort of mindset, we're not going to be able to limit what people.
That's ideology over practicality.
Exactly,
mm-hmm.
Exactly. So thank you very much.
Doc, I want to thank you very much also, for all the support that you have given, and look forward to better things next year for the both of us.
Very much. Thank you very much, and have a great one.
Thanks, Doc. Same to you and yours as well. We have one more caller. Before we take that caller, this individual also says there's obviously a fuel cartel here. The question, are cartels and monopolies illegal in the Cayman Islands? And Dr. Steve Macfield could easily answer that as well. It says the competition should come from a sovereign fund owned by the people that operates a fuel distribution business for profit at legitimate retail prices. Yeah, we cannot continue to let the mercantile class continue to exploit people simply for more wealth. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Okay, we lost that caller. One more thing. We talk about P.J. Patterson's book, and we're wrapping up now, so we're going to close off the phone lines. I think, DJ Lynn, we're going to close off the phone lines. Talk about P.J. Patterson's book, My Political Journey, sixth and longest serving Prime Minister of Jamaica. We know that you heard Dr. Steve Macfield talk about J.A. Roy Borden. His book will be coming out sometime this year as well. There is another book that I would encourage. I know I can encourage people to read it, but it is limited in terms of where you can find it. It is limited in terms of where you can find it, and it is called A Special Son by David Martins, and it has to do with it's the biography of the late Ormond Panton. This book is published. They had their own publishing company, so it's published by Pansons Limited. I don't believe that it is in print now. It's very difficult to find it, but I would encourage the government. We heard the Minister for Education talk about using Mr. Roy Borden to help to shape the curriculum in the schools as it relates to Cayman history. And I would encourage someone to see how we can go about getting this book back in publication, getting copies of it. I know I had a very, very difficult time trying to find one to give to a friend of mine. Eventually, through the assistance of others, I was able to find it. I don't know if anyone knows where they're available. We know that they're not available at the museum. National Museum does not have it. Someone had mentioned that they had bought one on a bookshelf at a thrift shop, but that was only by happenstance chance that was located there. But I would encourage someone to look about the republication of this book, because in this book, you're getting first-hand information in relation to some of the political history of the Cayman Islands by Mr. Ormond Panton. And for those of you who want to compare where we are now, where we were, and where we could have been at one point in time, and this would have been in 1961, when the talks were going on with the Federation of the West Indies and what would happen with the Cayman Islands and the Turks and Caicos Islands. I want to read you an excerpt. This is, my final contribution for this year. I want to read this excerpt for you. It says there were other novel aspects of this arrangement. One was that it talks about I have to go further back in that. In formal terms, Cayman would be going into a special constitutional relationship to the Federation, regulated by a treaty between the British government and the federal government and the Cayman Islands government. There were two other novel aspects of this arrangement. One was that this 5-year trial period, Cayman's constitutional position would be that of a country no longer linked to Britain, but with internal self-government within the Commonwealth. Mr. Ormond goes on to say, the other was that Cayman would have the right to issue its own passports. Looking ahead, it would seem logical that this matter would have had to have eventually been subject to any West Indian nationality laws which the Federation might bring, as the Federation was going to be responsible for Cayman's external affairs, and as such, representation could be made only for those who were citizens. From the immediate Caymanian perspective, however, this was an alluring point, because the retention of a Cayman passport as opposed to a West Indian one made it possible to maintain the unique visa waiver arrangement with the United States of America, which was expeditious for the large number of Caymanian seamen traveling to the United States to work in the merchant marine. And it goes on to talk about the fact that he had been, when he was in the talks in Jamaica, he'd been introduced to a British civil servant, a bespectacled British civil servant who, in future years, became one of the governors of the Cayman Islands. That gentleman was Peter Lloyd. And in the talks at Lancaster House in London, how the proposal for full internal self-government for the Cayman Islands, except for external affairs, which would be handled by the Federation of the West Indies, for a sum of £20,000 per year. Mind you, they would represent the Cayman Islands externally, provide defense for the Cayman Islands as well, for £20,000 per year. But also, Peter Lloyd introduced Mr. Ormond to the concept of an ombudsman, as well as the whole concept of human rights, and we would have a Bill of Rights in our Constitution as well. So where we are today, we could have been in 1962. We could have been there even with the failure of the Federation of the West Indies. But you heard the devil, Mr. Ivan Farrington, talk about the meeting with Dr. Roy and the clapping. Well, he didn't mention it, but the show of hands or the clapping of hands to determine which direction the Cayman Islands should go. Some may say we chose the right path and we're better off today than we would have been, and there are others who say, who knows that? We could have probably been better off. One thing that I would say is that we would have certainly had control of our own destiny, and the same things that we are doing today to make the Cayman Islands successful, despite sometimes the UK having their hands around our throats. The same success that we are achieving now, we could have achieved that by having full internal self-government, or even achieving more as well. With those words, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working in the outdoors. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. Again, I want to thank you for giving me this privilege to share my views and to help you to express your views through this forum. For the record, I want to say to you, have a great holiday season, but we should concentrate more on the needy than we should concentrate on ourselves during this period of time. And for one of our listeners out there, this book, A Special Son, I know that I promised to share it with you, and that promise still stands there. I just need to do some reading over the holidays on it to observe something, and that is one of my New Year's resolutions, my commitment that I will ensure that I bring this book to you, to loan it to you, because I know that it is very difficult to get out there. I also want to say to your listeners, continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dweeneybanks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. For all your banking and pension needs, call or visit a Fidelity branch today. Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. And Cayman Pharmacy Group, with locations in West Base and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. And Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling Seaboard Marine at 949-4977.